Hey everybody, it's me Margaret, and I'm here with some frequently asked questions about the Addi Express knitting machines. They're sitting right here, and let's get right to it. Addi Express is the top of the line circular knitting machines. There's two of them. You've got a small one that's 22 needles, and you've got a larger one that's 46 needles. Basically, they just turn with a crank after you thread them. Ignore these things. I have taken the legs off of mine, and I have them held on with these clamps onto my work machine because I like it lower and because it holds it more stable. But you'll see the legs here, the smaller one that each of the machines comes with, and you clamp the legs to a tabletop. I'm using a tool bench in this instance. The machines are designed to use a basic 4-ply, American 4-ply yarn, which is a number 4 worsted weight in America. You can go a little bit bulkier. I've seen people use a bulky with it with different varying experiences, and I've used DK on it very successfully. So that's something to consider. Now, while these are top of the line for circular knitting machines, there are plenty of inexpensive circular machines out there, more along the line of a toy quality, I would say. In the description box below, I'll put a link to a video that I did that compares this Singer machine with that Addi. And basically, this is fine as long as you use a really lightweight yarn, but it'll give you a very loose weave, which is not necessarily attractive. I use a worsted weight on both of these to show you how easily it's accepted here and how you have to fight with it on here. You know, just some information. Also in the description box is a link to a blog that shows you a number of other knitting machines, most of which are out of production now. But you could pick some of them up on eBay or whatever. I have no experience with those machines, so I can't recommend any of them. However, I do feel comfortable recommending the Yᴏᴜᴜ, which is a larger size similar to the king size. It's about $79, where this one retails on Amazon for about $240. I suggest you do a Google search to see, first of all, where you can find it, because recently it's been selling out. But anyway, there are varying prices. I got mine from eBay at a better price, but I had to wait on it. Watch your shipping on that, of course. But the Yᴏᴜᴜ is about $79, and it's very comparable to this. It's not quite the quality, but it is definitely a good machine. And the reason I can say that is not from personal experience, but I have friends who have the machines, or even some friends who have both, and will say that they do give it a thumbs up. This one retails for about $140 on Amazon right now. Why would I want one? Well, for ease and speed. You can make a hat in about 30 minutes or less, and it's great for charity knitters. And there's a whole, it's a whole different art. I mean, while the learning curve is small, there's plenty of techniques you can learn. You can do limited fair isle on it. You could add different borders and brims, learn how to do jogless stripes on it. Ribbing. There's lots of techniques to add to it. So here's a big question. What size hats can it make? Well, the small Addi, the Addi Express Professional, really only makes preemie hats. The width of the tube is about 3 inches using Vanna's Choice. So that's the kind of preemie hat that you are going to get. I use it a lot for kids' scarves. Have some novelty scarves that I do on there. I even like the thinner scarves. I like to wrap them around, tie them in fancy knots. That's about how round you're going to get. That's the size you're going to get. However, using the Addi Express king size, you get more options. For instance, yes, it does adult hats. This measures 21 inches around, Mrs. Whitehead, I call her. And her head is a little bit on the smaller size, 21 inches, but you can see that it fits, you know, very well. I can wear this hat, and I have a 22-inch circumference in my head. This happens to be a hat that it's double layered, so by doing a thinner hat, it stretches more. Use a thinner yarn and you can actually get more stretch out of it. But this is a hat also done on the Addi king size. And what I did was I left it to be a roll brim just to show you. For example, I have, these are my models for littler people. This is a 6-inch diameter ball. It measures 18 3/4 inches in circumference, which would be equal to a toddler head, according to size charts. A toddler head, lower elementary school children, that type of thing. And so you can see that it fits just fine. Let's use the non-label side. Okay, and then when you roll it, that shows you that the length is actually what affects what you would do for these children, for these sizes. Now, a baby's head, I use a 5-inch diameter ball, which measures 15 1/2 inches in circumference. And the same thing is done. Look, see, it fits it fine, but you could either, roll your brim up higher. Of course, if you had a little forehead, it would work better. You could roll your brim up higher, or just make your hat shorter. Just do less rows, and then you'd have the baby hat. So it's amazing how versatile that one machine can be. Can you only make hats and scarves on these machines? No. Hats and scarves are probably the most popular, but once you've mastered flat panels instead of tubes, then you have endless possibilities. Sweaters, ponchos, bags, toys, pillow covers. You're limited only by your imagination. Now, these pictures I've been showing you are from a book that can be purchased from several different places. While the styles are kind of old, it would be great for construction, and you just have to update the styling yourself. What are the advantages of the Addi Express circular machines over the larger flatbed knitting machines? Now, I had not given this a whole lot of thought until one of the viewers of one of my videos had made this observation, Dave Burrows. Thank you, Dave. And for me, the reason why I ran to this was because flatbed knitting machines have a plethora of parts and a larger learning curve. It's also larger physically, so it takes up more room. And these, you take it out of the box, you can pretty much hit the ground running. Another thing would be the cost. Generally speaking, well, of course, you can get fancy flatbed machines in the thousands of dollars with the computerized, all that commotion. I just recently purchased one from eBay for about $200, which is comparable in price. But in order to do circular knitting on a flatbed machine, you have to have a double bed or a ribbing attachment or something like that, so that runs your cost even higher. Yes, on a flatbed machine, you can do flat panels and seam it together. So that would work as well. So I guess it's your preference, whatever you think is best. One other thing that I think is neat is Vicki Weaver takes her Addi machines to the nursing home. And so for people who, especially people who used to knit or crochet and love their yarn but can't do it any longer, but it's not limited to those people who have a background because it has an easy learning curve. She can work with those residents, and they have been feeling extremely useful, entertained, remembering memories possibly while working with yarn to this nursing home. So these are extremely portable. Yes, you can cart around a lower end flatbed machine pretty easily, I would say. But your higher ends, of course, you wouldn't want to do that. So, just do your research and decide which is best for you. So here's a question I get a lot. I could only buy one machine. Which Addi is best? I hate that question. It's like making me choose between my children. Each one has its own advantages. And like I told you earlier, the 3-inch tube, this one makes about a 5-inch tube. It depends on what you want to do with it. And remember, flat panels increase its versatility. So, for example, if you wanted to buy only the smaller one, you could make larger hats. Simply make 2 flat panels and seam them together. You saw earlier when I was showing you pictures of the projects from the Addi books, they just do panels and sew them together to create ponchos or sweaters or purses or bags or whatever. I know Erin, Gimme Yarn 418, has done some cute toys on hers, so stuffed toys. So again, I'm not sure. I guess you could say that this one, with its 46 needles, would allow you to do a flat panel of 22 stitches, which would be this one, and you could get a preemie hat. So possibly this one is the most versatile. Again, you can just do flat panels and seam them together to get a larger. So I think that's a personal decision what you want to make with it, and how much money you have to spend. If you look on the internet, there are scores of helpful Addi videos out there now. When I first got my Addis, there weren't, so some of my earlier videos are just my experimentation as I'm tripping over my feet trying to achieve a certain goal. But I do have a playlist for all my Addis with tips and tricks. You can look in the description box below for those, or just search YouTube and you'll find a bunch of great people out there who are also extremely helpful. That's one thing about the Addi community, is there's so many helpful people. Remember that you can also look at Innovations videos and learn the same techniques, same ideas. The Innovations was more popular at one time, and there were more videos for that out there. So if you have any other questions, let me know and I'll see if I can get those answered. Bye. Note that I am in no way affiliated with the Addi company. I'm just a happy owner.